This episode of Pondering Nerdcast was brought to you by GamingRebellion.com. Join the community today at GamingRebellion.com, where it's more than just games.
Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to the Pondering Nerdcast. This is episode 69. Don't get any dirty thoughts on that. It's just a number, so don't say anything.
See? Oh, sorry.
That's yeah. Here with me tonight is Alyssa Spector.
Hey guys.
And Nate Rowe.
Here we go.
And this is I'm pretty sure I've said this before in past episodes, but I am also Lance John, because I just realized I don't say my name on the show. So people are probably like, who the fuck is this guy? It's like,
you have a name? I thought we were just conversing with God this whole time. Like, I thought
it's possible.
We've only been doing this for like what,
Lord?
years?
Years. Like, hey, I'm on the show too. No. But yes, my name is Lance John. But anyway, guys, let's jump right in and talk about some tech. And this piece of tech is like a bit of politics behind it. If you remember a few years ago, when Obama administrations were in power, and this whole thing started up with about net neutrality and how Verizon was just a big bad and trying to have policies passed where they wanted to more or less, the best way I can explain it was like, Verizon and other companies like Verizon or ISPs like Verizon wanted to have the ability to meter the internet for its customers. Meaning, just like how you buy your packages, your TV packages, you know, like there's a basic, there's like a medium, there's a platinum or whatever, and you get all these other channels or whatnot. So they were trying to apply that same model to your internet. So instead of just paying one flat rate, you know, depending on the speeds you want to pay for, you just, because literally all you're just paying for is access and speed. They wanted to apply another thing on top of that where, like, say you watch a lot of YouTube, so you will get charged, you know, either extra or you pay them an extra fee on your cable, on your internet bill, where you can now have unlimited access to YouTube for whatever reason. And so that now with the new administration, you know, there was like the net neutrality bill was didn't get, you know, passed. It was like shot down. Because I believe the architects of the internet said "fuck you," no, and you know, and now the battle's back on again. And the new FCC chairman, you know, he is a Trump appointee. He does not care for net neutrality, and he wants to do away with it because he thinks it should be left up in the hands of the businesses and blah 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 and stuff.
Of course he does. Of course he does. Like, everything that comes out of Trump or Trump's people is going to be what makes the most money.
Pretty much, yeah. And it's, you know, so if because the funny thing is, T-Mobile actually violates net neutrality because they now give you, they kind of don't, because they get, the way they get customers in is like, they say that, hey, if you join us, you're like, you streaming Netflix or Hulu or YouTube will not count against your bandwidth cap, you know. So like, if you have one and stuff like that, like, you can stream it for free, like, and they won't count it, you know, long as you're streaming those particular apps and services. So when you think about it, I mean, it sounds good for customers, but on the other hand, it's not. It's kind of skirting the law in a way.
It's capitalism at its finest. It's
pretty much.
It's one company saying we're going to partner with this company, and if people want to get reduced prices or whatever, they're going to have to go through us. It's sleazy, but that's what America's founded on. So.
Yeah,
it does not surprise me in the least bit.
You know, and so right now the biggest battle that's the battle is back on again, and because I've always said that this battle will continue as long as there's some corporation out there trying to make more money, for finding different ways to make it, because they will come up with all kind of artificial ways of saying, oh, it's too much strain on our bandwidth and blah 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 and all this other bullshit. Even though we're like rank one of the lowest country for internet speeds in the world. Like, we're just terrible at this other stuff. Like,
I believe it.
Yeah, it's like it's just off the wall stupid, and that's why they cry like little bitches when Google rolled out their fiber network in some states. They were like, oh well, they're not a ISP like us. Why can't they? Because apparently, if you're an ISP, you have to pay some sort of tax to the government to be one. So, and because Google is not traditionally an ISP, so they weren't paying that particular tax. They they were like brought up in court and all this other bullshit. There's a lot of things going on, but right now there's a bunch of this particular article talks about all these startups that band together to fight this, not to kill net neutrality, and how so it's a pretty interesting read. It's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo in a way, but if you really care about paying just one fee to be online and not be metered or tethered or just some sort of way, like where you have to pay extra just to access Facebook or something like that, or to, where you can freely go wherever you want on the internet at the same speeds that you're paying for without being, any of that stuff, I would say pay attention to this, because it will affect you in many ways. It will affect a lot of people, especially startups. It will affect people like us who are podcasters who, I rely on my internet so we can do the show because all of us are remote. And it's like, I don't want to have to pay extra $5 on my bill so that I can just podcast. You know what I'm saying? When I could just pay my one flat fee. Yeah,
it's ridiculous because there's a million websites out there and a million applications. So it's ridiculous not to have net neutrality and like, okay, I got to pay $5 to look at this site to read this blog post. If somebody posted on Facebook, or pay $5 to watch this videos somebody posted on Facebook. It's ridiculous.
Well, it also kind of blows my mind that they think they can start charging extra for something that was free. Like, imagine if you tried to do that to other things in life. Like, imagine if you were just like, oh yeah, you know how you like to go walk in nature? Yeah, there's a new law that anytime you walk in nature, you have to pay $5 on your taxes that year. And it's like, what? It's nature. No. Like, I'm not paying you because I went on a walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense, man. Like, it's the same kind of applies if we watch it. Like, there are people out there who live on YouTube. That's what they do all day when they're not doing shit. They watch a lot of YouTube, or watch a lot of IGN, or watch a lot of whatever, GamingRebellion.com.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Plug right there for Gaming Rebellion. Anyway, but yeah, no, like, there's people out there that just spend their time doing what they like on the internet, and like, if you're gonna do that, do it for services that are already charging some sort of fee. And then just incorporate that. That's between the companies to work out a fee or whatever, you know what I mean? So, like, I could understand if, I could semi-understand if Netflix themselves said, we're jacking up the fee for $1 or something like that. Even that much sucks. But, you can't say, the internet company can't say, okay, well, you have to pay Netflix to use their service, but you have to pay us to use it well. And it's like, what?
Exactly.
Go fuck yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already paying for the service, and I'm paying you for my internet. What is the problem here? Why do you have to get a couple extra dollars out of me? I don't understand.
Yeah, anyway. It's just another way to try and nickel and dime people. And that's just one of the potential nonsense that could come out of this if net neutrality is rolled back, So, like I said, if you care about this stuff, if you care about what we do as well, and if you do it yourself as well, and you want to have this free, it's not free access, but it's more or less just one flat fee to get online and do this stuff. Make sure you pay attention, vote if you have to, protest if you have to, whatever you need to do, sign a petition. I don't care. We can't let this shit happen. Because in the last one, the last round of this bullshit that they tried, I voted against it. I wasn't out in any protest, but I was, I did sign petitions and stuff like that to make sure that this does not ever get rolled back. Because this is some of the shit that some of these companies are just licking their lips, just like, you can't get all the money, but whatever. But anyway. Let's move on. Well, this is more like a PSA because not really much to say here. So it'll be in the link below. So there's been a short film of, starring, well, not starring, but featuring the Hoff, Hasselhoff, if you know who that is, where he stars in an AI scripted film. I would say check it out. It's about 7 minutes long.
If you can get it, yeah, I didn't get it. If you get it, then fucking comment and tell me what a dumbass I am. But I watched it and was like, what the fuck is this? I don't understand what's happening. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I didn't really. Yeah, anyway.
I would say just check it out. I thought it was pretty funny. And, we'll get to it, though. One day, like I said, comment. Let us know what you think. Anyway, moving on. It was a little different structure today because our last topic is going to be a bit of a conversation. We're going to talk about some gaming. So, the Call of Duty Call of Duty franchise has put out another trailer for Call of Duty World War II. And like in many things today in our pop culture or just representation is important. And there's an article on Polygon where it's entitled Call of Duty World War II's diversity is nothing more than marketing. So, I've seen the trailer, and I mean, have you guys seen the trailer as well?
Yes. Yeah, I did see the trailer. Yep.
And I didn't really I was like, okay, it's just another Call of Duty, 2. I was like, it's not something I'm probably going to get because I don't care. Like, I don't like retro shooters. I don't think they're fun. Because, well, what I mean by retro shooters, I mean like something that has the mechanics of like old school guns and all this other stuff. Because I know it makes it a little bit more challenging and it's probably fun for some people, but I'm not like obsessed with shit like that. Like, and it's, it is what it is. But the trailer came out, and it seems like they're going to feature in key battles off World War II and stuff like that. And their gripe with this particular article is that they're trying to say that they're going to also represent all the people who took part in this in the war. Because there were women that took part in the war, like their role and everything like that, and African American men and women as well, and just people of color and stuff like that. I mean, what role did they play? And more or less, the article is saying, well, the perspective that we've gotten over the years, as long as I've been alive, and I've only been alive shortly, whenever World War I or World War II or anything that like considered that type of genre of movie and stuff like that, it's always about the white guy. It's always about their story, that particular story, or like a soldier or something like that. That it's centered around that. And there might be some mention of somebody of color or a woman or something like, but it's mostly like in a supporting role. It's never really the center of attention and stuff like that. So it kind of seems like nobody else had a pivotal moment in this war, as it led up to. So it's like, those are the type of things that the article is trying to point out about this. And they feel like the what they're trying to market isn't that, like, it's not, they don't feel it's genuine. They just don't think it's actually, it's changing anybody's minds, and it's probably most likely, I mean, the game is not out yet, I should say. I believe there's a beta out, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But, it's not like this is not the first time Call of Duty has been in the news for some sort of controversial things. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that this article is on the money about what they're talking about? Do you think like they're like the Call of Duty franchise is pandering a bit to like people of color, trying to give them something?
I had no idea anything about what is being said right now. Like I had no idea. I didn't know they were trying to take that realistic of a tone. First of all, racism was a very big thing back then because it was still the 40s, and and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure segregation and stuff didn't start kicking in until late 60s, early 70s. So
pretty much, yeah.
Or desegregation, I should say. I'm sorry. So it was, like that was still a very big thing back then. If you were, it was it was probably not a good thing if you were an African American male and got drafted. Like, you were probably getting sent to where nobody else wanted to get sent. There was a lot of foul shit going on with that, and that's cool that they want to. That's not cool, but it's cool that they want to kind of show that and represent that. But I just don't know if Call of Duty is the game to do that. Like, Call of Duty is known for just being this mindless sandbox multiplayer shooter, and the single player story is kind of just there to just be there. Yeah, just to be there. Yeah. And I just don't see if they're trying to take some serious tone with issues of race and issues of sexism, and women were obviously very mistreated in the war. You know what I mean? Like, if you were a woman nurse overseas and you were raped by a soldier, who the fuck were you gonna tell? You know what I'm saying? Like, you were in a battle zone, and like, yeah, there was some horrid atrocities that went down via American soldiers. But yeah, just, is Call of Duty the place to address these things? I don't think so, man. Like, my thing with this game is, okay, Battlefield said we're doing World War I, so naturally Call of Duty is like, okay, well, that was successful. We have to have some sort of answer. We're going to do World War II. And it just, Battlefield has always had a better single player experience than Call of Duty, just in my opinion. So I could almost see Battlefield getting away with that a little bit more, a more story-driven narrative that's talking about the issues of the past and stuff like that. But yeah, I just don't see Call of Duty being that medium, man. Like, don't get me wrong, when I saw the trailer, I thought the trailer looked cool, where you're on the U-boat, I want to say it's called, and the lids are dropping on Normandy, and it'll be like playing Medal of Honor Frontline back in the day, but just with nice, crisp new graphics. And that, in and of itself, looks like kind of an allure. You know what I mean? If you like Saving Private Ryan, you'll probably love this game. But yeah, Call of Duty has never been known for some sort of deep, crazy story. Like, the best story out of a Call of Duty game came from one of the Black Ops games, I think. One of the first ones, you know what I mean? Because it was kind of a little out there. It was a little new for its time, but now it's like, no, just stop. It's a Call of Duty game. Just make it good fighting. Just make it good. If you want, like, fix your mechanics. Throw some new things in that makes it stand out from other Call of Duties before you try to go all, because like, nobody buys a Call of Duty for the story. Like, that's been said by no one ever. So like, nobody's like, I bought the new Call of Duty, man, but fuck multiplayer. I just want to play the story. It's like, what? No, that's stupid. So anyway.
I'm not the type of person to really play. I don't really play games like Call of Duty or Battlefield. I'm pretty much the type of gamer that plays like Devil May Cry and Zelda and Shadow of the Colossus. So I like really big story-driven games. The only first-person shooter I really play is Overwatch, and even that kind of has a story. So, but I agree with Nate. It's cool that they're trying. I think it's cool that they're making. They have this game that's trying to be more diverse to appeal to the crowd, but again, it's just a game. It can take liberties. It can do whatever it wants, whether it's realistic or not. I mean, look at Inglourious Bastards. Like, that was that was based in World War II, but that obviously took liberties. I mean, I'm pretty sure Hitler wasn't machine gunned to death in real life. Spoiler warning. Sorry.
So you think? So we think. That's exactly how it actually went down, and then we just never knew.
I mean, a part of me, I do think it's interesting that they're including like a more diverse cast, because whenever we watch like World War II movies, we always see just like, the white soldiers, the American, from the American army when World War II, it was extremely diverse. It wasn't just, we weren't just, there was all the allies.
It wasn't a one-sided war.
No, it wasn't a one-sided war. And I think it's cool that this game is exploring, saying like, oh, you're going to be, I guess you'll be seeing a German family, and then there's going to be a British officer, and then another African American officer, and then they're from another regiment, and then they're saying there's going to be even a female French resistance fighter, which I don't know if there were. Yeah. I did hear that there were female soldiers. I don't know if they were just support or they were just nurses.
There were even female fighter pilots too.
Yeah, I believe it.
Whenever they went down, they were like captured and stuff. It's just that they don't. They're just not mentioned too many times, and I think from the perspective of like I didn't write the article. What I'm imagining the perspective that the person who wrote this article is trying to convey is like representation is still important, especially in 2017. That you could do that in Call of Duty, but like Nate said, I don't know. I mean, I understand that Call of Duty is probably the biggest. Well, it's no longer the biggest first-person shooter because Overwatch, but it's it's one of it used to be one of the biggest ones, and it's like it's kind of weird that they people. I guess people are now like pointing out like the war is a much bigger thing. There are much more stories to be told, and instead of just seeing the same story over and over again, to try and like figure out, okay, what are these untold stories and stuff like that. But yes, I do agree that it is a video games, and a lot of it is probably going to be fictional. I doubt that Call of Duty spent years going and speaking to these soldiers. It was like, so tell me how this happened and who was there, and we're going to recreate all these stuff. Like, let's recreate all the horrors you saw during World War II.
Well, and another reason I would almost assume that we don't see very many movies about how rough African American soldiers were treated or how rough women were treated in the war. It's probably because you don't see Germany making many movies about how great Nazism was or killing Jews. Like, countries tend to try to turn a blind eye to what their bad things in the past, you know what I mean? Like, that's behind us. Let's move on, you know what I mean? And at some point, you do have to kind of move on, but at the same time, it is like there needs to be accurate representations of shit like that. But I don't think Call of Duty is the place to do this. You know what I mean?
I don't think so either.
I mean, like I said, I don't know if it's for. I don't know if the quote-unquote diversity is nothing more than marketing, but just in general, it's cool to see, like, to hear about, other stories about other people in World War II other than just what we usually see, like in Saving Private Ryan, but, yeah, like Nate said, I don't know if Call of Duty is the place to tell it, but just in general, it would be cool to see, more stories of World War II with more diversity, because apparently in the Soviet Union there were about 800,000 women that served in the armed forces during World War II. I see something about that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there are like, I mean, I'm only saying this with a grain of salt. I don't know, when I say cool stories, there are like so many different ways we can still look at these world wars and stuff like that, and the people who are behind creating these narratives and stuff like, it seems like it's either they don't know how to go ahead and create these narratives, or they just can't find the people to do it, or what I'm saying, or maybe it's just such an unknown written history that it's not worth it, or it's maybe not a sexy enough story to sell in a video game form or book form or like television or a movie or something like that. But it is what it is, I guess. I don't know when this game is going to come out. Like I said, I don't have I don't care when it comes out because I don't play it. So.
In fairness, there are some movies out there about this very issue, or at least pertaining to it in a small bit. Like in, I believe there's a movie about the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yes, Red something.
I think it was just called the Tuskegee Airmen, but anyway, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, there are some movies out there that talk about these issues and stuff, but yeah. Like,
there's just not many.
Yeah, there's just not many. That's for sure. So, Saving Private Ryan, like all white guys. Like, in fact, I was sitting here trying to think while you guys were talking. I was sitting here trying to think, like, was there a black guy in that whole movie? Like seriously, I really don't remember a black guy in that whole movie, and that is ridiculous. That's crazy, man. Like, not saying that there necessarily had to have been a black guy on the team or whatever, which there should have been anyway, but it doesn't. I'm not saying that. It's just I remember specific parts in the movie where they're walking by and there's like a bunch of airmen that are just you know, like the people, air troopers that just dropped in, and they're all passing by, and they come across all kinds of American troops while they're trying to find Ryan, and I don't remember one black guy. I really don't. I don't remember one black guy in the movie, man. That is crazy.
I'm looking at like the cast on IMDb. Nope.
Oh no. See, anybody that would have been named, I already knew wasn't black. But I was trying to even think of extras. Like I was trying to think of people just walking by, and I don't remember.
I remember
shit. Yeah, I don't remember one, dude. Even in the battle, the actual the Normandy when they were dropping troops in and stuff like from the boats, I don't remember any black guys on that either, man. It was just it's kind of crazy, man. It's it's a big misrepresentation in Saving Private Ryan. We just found a huge hole in Saving Private Ryan that I don't think anybody's ever addressed before. Did you see Saving Private Ryan? Tom Hanks is secretly as racist as Mel Gibson. I think we just figured that out.
That's the name of the episode. No. But yeah, wow. That's a good point. But yeah, I mean, we'll see when this game comes out. I don't know, do gangbusters or whatever, but I don't care about Call of Duty. So anyway, let's move on to our next topic here in the gaming section. So now this next one, I'm sure is hotly debated. Well, is, maybe now, I don't know. But this comes from digitaltrends.com, and their title is Replacing Your Console with a Gaming PC is a Brilliant, Idiotic Idea. So, now, if you read the article, it tells you, it's kind of like the same complaints that you've heard over time about, console gamers versus PC gamers and stuff like that. It's like the cost, the maintenance, the know-how, the technical problems you have to deal with, and, that sort of thing. Which, with PC gamers, their usually pushback is like, well, it's an investment, it's, I don't have to deal with bad graphics, blah blah. I have a bigger library. I have more flexibility, that sort of thing, and I'm not bought into just one, brand or quote unquote walled garden. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like buying Apple because you just love Apple. You just want everything to be Apple. So it's kind of like the same thing. I myself and Nate as well, we're both PC gamers. I mean, we also have consoles. We enjoy both because why? We're just gamers and we just like to play games.
Well, I started off as a very, very big console fan, and I absolutely hated the PC Master Race, and I'll tell you, that statement is pretty much true. If you're a console gamer and you're thinking about switching over to PC, let me break it down for you, okay? You're going to get better graphics. You're going to get more than likely faster load times, depending on your PC, if you're actually putting some money into it. You can have a nice big library, but some of the drawbacks are, when you get a game on console, it either works or it don't. It's one of the two. Yeah. If you put a game, a disc into your console, or download a game onto your console, it'll either boot right up or it won't because you don't have some, whatever. With a PC game, you could have a driver out of date. You could have something. I mean, like, it could be the most minuscule thing. There could be a little port blocked, something that is fucking your game up. And you have to problem solve. You have to figure that out. And I think a lot of console gamers have just gotten very, very used to it either works or it doesn't. And so that's a very big obstacle for some of them, you know, believe it or not. You know, it's like they don't want to problem solve when going to game. They just want it to work. You know, and I understand that, you know what I mean? Like, when you're going to game, you're usually doing it for relaxation or something like that, and and the last thing you want is to be problem solving before the game. Like, I gotta solve a puzzle before the game. Yay, this is fun.
The game of life.
But, yeah, you know, exactly. But, it's a brilliant, idiotic idea, because you're gonna get... chances are your PC is probably gonna outlive a console. Especially with how fast they're bringing out new. This is the Xbox 1.5, 7, 8, 9, 14, and it's like, yeah, you know, so like, yeah, like, if you put $1,300 into a PC, you're gonna probably have something that's gonna last a few years and still be able to play games a few years down the road that are probably still, you know, pretty good quality. But yeah, it comes with that, you know. Like, I am so horrible at playing mouse and keyboard.
Me too.
So horrible, dude. Like, games, it'll blow a console. It'll blow a console player's mind the first time they buy a game and figure out there's no controller support. That will blow their mind. Like, because it blew mine. Like, I remember one. I can't remember the game itself right now, but I had bought something and I was excited to play it, and I was like, yes, let's do this. This is. What? Why is my controller not working? I don't... Okay, hold on. Oh, no, I just got... Okay, I got this. I just got to go to options. There's... Yeah, sometimes you get... Wait, what?
Nothing.
There's no... What? This is ridiculous. Like, I couldn't believe it, and anyway. I cannot... It's just for some reason, I cannot do WASD to move and mouse. Like, I can do that and look around, but I cannot, like, hit my other shit, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, and all these other buttons. Like, no. On controllers, it just seems so much easier, because I already know it, like by heart. I don't have to look down at the controller. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it tells me to press X, I know where X is. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Shit on us going, oh, you can't use a keyboard and mouse? Like, I can't.
Go fuck yourselves. How about that shit? Because, I'm just not good at it, man. At least I can admit my shortcomings, you know?
I still use a old Xbox 360 controller, like the wired ones. A lot of people don't know.
Oh yeah, I got a PS3
into a Windows PC, and it works.
That's what I use.
It's you know.
I use 360 controller. Yeah, I've always used one, man. It's just the most natural to me, you know.
Yeah. And it works. It works. There's no batteries or anything to deal with. Just plug it in and sucker stays powered on, and it works pretty well with me.
I was just saying, like, I don't hate on PC gaming. I have like a Steam account. I don't play that many PC games, but I have Steam, and if I see a game like, oh cool, Psychonauts is $1, I could play this straight on my computer. That's great. But I have come across like the problems, like the game would suddenly just like crash on me, and it said this application has closed unexpectedly, and I'm like, what do I do? Because while I'm computer savvy, I'm not that savvy to know, like, what am I missing? Why can't I play this game? So, and I don't mind going out and getting like the new consoles, because I'm kind of a video game hoarder, or a collector, but probably really a hoarder. And I like displaying like, oh, my collection of consoles throughout the years. I mean, I still have my really old consoles, like I still have my NES in like my garage somewhere. My Genesis is hooked up somewhere still. I got my Dreamcast, so I love showing off, like, it's like a history of gaming right here. And, I have all four, I've had PlayStation since PlayStation 1, so I don't mind that. I mean, I don't like the idea. It's like, oh, here's PlayStation, you got PlayStation 4, here's the PlayStation 4 Slim, which is great if you never bought a PS4 before, but if you already own it, it's like, I don't care. I don't need to buy, a new advanced version of the game system. I mean, I got a new 3DS, which is, it's pretty much the same thing as a regular 3DS, but the one I got was limited edition, so don't judge me. But it runs great.
Yeah. I would say that I mean, I started out as a heavy console gamer, Nintendo first, and then PlayStation, and then the Xbox. And it's not like, the only reason why I play a lot of video games on my computer now is because I built my own computer, but to do editing, and it just happened that it can play games as well, based on the shit I put in there. And, I think I'll probably play more of console gaming if they had sales like Steam, and which sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. And I know they have you got to pay this yearly subscription thing to Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus, and you would get a free game a month or something like that, which is cool, but it's not always. But you don't get to choose which game. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to choose that. They don't give you a slew of games that are on sale all the time. And, some of the games, it's well, I can get that on PC for maybe half the price of whatever price they're offering at that sale price, And if you're really computer savvy enough, you can get that free 99 if you really want to go that deep, and crack games and all kind of nonsense. But that's neither here nor there with that. But yeah, it is definitely a brilliant idiotic idea to, try to replace your stuff. Because it's, like I said, if you are not a computer hardware guy and software guy or woman, this is not going to work for you. Because you're going to probably be more frustrated, because for most people who's just starting out doing this stuff, it is reprehensibly expensive to start out, because not only are you spending a lot of money on a mouse, but a keyboard, then your monitor has to be a certain frequency, hertz refresh rates and shit like that, and then your headphones, and then maybe if you want to stream, there's a camera, then you gotta get the right processor, and use some SSD card. It just adds up. But like I said, it's a really good investment. But that's I would say if you're gonna go that hard, make sure you're actually going to produce something out of it, instead of just I'm just gonna play games. Because if you're gonna drop $1,500 just to play games, I would say that you just wasted your money, because you're not. I feel like you need to then work at that point. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you need to do something. You need to stream. You need to edit. You need to do something than just I'm gonna justify myself dropping $1,500, because I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna drop $1,500 on the next Xbox.
That's the thing too. It's going to cost $1,500 to make this gaming machine just so you can play games that are almost free. Well, I mean, granted, at the same time, right. It's there's always sales on game systems. It's okay, I'm going to invest $250. I mean, me, I always wait. Unless it's a game I really, really, really want, I'll buy it or pre-order it when it comes out. But other times where it's just a game, I can wait on it and wait until the hype dies down, and I'll get it on sale. So that's how I budget. I mean, I'm sure, I'm sure if you get that computer system and get it working right, I'm sure it's the best gaming experience ever. But I'm content with what I have. So if I knew how to build a computer, I would do it. But right now, my computer is solely for art and, editing purposes. And while I can play games on here, there's not too much space for it. So it's okay, the occasional game that I see that goes on sale on Steam, I'll play it, on my computer. But
Yeah, it definitely is an investment, Definitely is an investment.
To each their own.
We'll see. Let us know in the... let us know what you think, guys. If you PC Master Race, or I just love consoles, or whatever. Well, I don't know. You know what? That whole conversation is probably out of control anyway. But yeah, check it out. Check out your options. What's more financially feasible? Space wise, what your ambitions are, and go from there. Do what works for you. So next, last topic here in gaming is about Nintendo's Joy-Cons and the joy of squeezing boobs. Yeah. I don't know if that's joyous for whom, but
I'm sure it's joyous for some people out there. That's why they're called Joy-Cons.
It's joyful. Yeah, and so Nintendo, I keep forgetting that, everybody, when you think about Nintendo in the last 10 years or so, everybody thinks about Nintendo as this family friendly, just, what I'm saying, like just a nice, you buy this console, you give it to your child, and you most likely won't have anything on there that will scar them or what you think might traumatize them in some way or be like lewd or anything like that. But nope. You gotta just gotta remember, guys, it's still old Japan.
Dude, I'm a single guy. Have been for a long time, and even I think this is creepy, man. Like, it's just creepy, dude. Like, and I would be interested to see. Maybe this will deter people from actually groping real people. Maybe, I don't know, but it just seems like you're just trying to make perverts early. Like, you're just like, because a kid's not gonna really, like, take a 9-year-old kid who somehow gets his hand on this game playing Switch and goes to school and totally gropes one of his classmates thinking that's okay. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, like, that, I guarantee you something like that's going to happen.
Possibility,
yeah, like anyway, it's just stupid. Like, like, why do you need to do, like, why do you need this game, especially on Nintendo? It's very, like you said, Lance, it's really weird that they're allowing this on there to be promoted. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, anyway,
they won't allow a child to stream their games, but they're allowed this shit.
So we should probably put this in context, like what exactly we're talking about.
We should.
I guess in Japan, there's a series of games. I don't know how many there are, but it was a game that came out on the 3DS called Senran Kagura, which is it's basically about a bunch of very well-endowed female ninjas that... what kind of game is it? It's just
It's a 2D-ish, like 2.5D-ish
side scroller. It was like the name,
like
a double dragon type of game. But every time, like, the girls level up or power up, it's like when they do a transformation sequence, or you have to press a button at the right time to transform. But if you miss it, like, she transforms into her lingerie instead, and it's like a big close up. And since it's on the 3DS, you get to see 3-dimensionally her boobs and her butt sticking out. So
yeah, there are 3D versions of the game as well.
There was actually, I think they weren't going to bring, or I don't know how many games there are. There's like, I think 1 or 2 games for the 3DS, and one of the games was actually localized for, the English market. I think there was a whole petition, of fans saying, please bring this over, localize it. They're like, it's not because we're perverts, it's because it's actually really good gameplay. Like,
oh.
It's actually a really good beat-em-up side-scroller, so I guess they announced it, yeah. So recently they announced that, there was a Nintendo Direct, like a week ago about, the new games coming out, but only for the one that was aired in Japan. They're coming out with, I guess, a new, title from the series for the Nintendo Switch, and in the video, it's basically saying, like, you see all these, like, I guess, game developers in a laboratory, like, trying to figure out how to squeeze the game controller like a boob. Like, there's jiggle physics, and you see in the video, like, them holding water balloons, and they're squeezing the Joy-Con controller, like, oh.
If you notice, the woman in the video looks so uncomfortable. Like, she looks so uncomfortable having to hold this water balloon. Like, yeah, this is totally not what my boob feels like.
I don't think, like I said, I never played the game, but I don't think a part of the game was like you can grope the girls in the game, since it was on the 3DS. The whole thing was just like, oh, look, we're utilizing the 3D to see them, like, the boobs pop out in 3D, not so much touching.
Well,
but I don't even
then what does it matter then the way you hold the Joy-Con then? Like if it's not about touching the boobs, then what does it matter? Like what they're trying to do is show like that they can simulate how real boobs jiggle and stuff, and that's based on how you touch the controller, right? So if you're okay, you might not be actually like grabbing their boobs on the game or whatever. That's not what I'm saying, but it's still still just creepy. It's weird. It's weird and creepy.
It's literally like I'm looking at some of the there's one thing here. It's called this is a video, all sexy finishers from the game. This is all it's 1080p 60 frames. It's porn. This is straight porn. Like I don't understand. It's like they're fighting, and when for some reason, even though one character hits another character in the head,
is it porn or just cheesecake? Because do they actually get nude, or do they?
It's.
They're
naked.
It doesn't matter. Like there is going to be kids going through Kleenex boxes by the dozens on these, man. It's serious. Like that's what this game is for. Like serious.
There's a finisher where like all her clothes comes off, and then there's like really bright lights that's covering her nipples and genitals. So they just get. It's porn. It's like
it's hentai. It's hentai. Isn't hentai what they call anime porn?
Over there?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Anyway, that's what it is. That's exactly.
Like, here's a finisher. Let's knock her back. She gets butt naked and ends up in a tree.
That's the best part. She ends up in a tree.
I was like, what is happening? And so I don't know what Nintendo is thinking.
Well, I don't think they created the game. I think they're just,
I just don't understand why they're supporting it. Like I don't
know. Like that's the thing is it doesn't. They could have totally released this game like under the table, not at like. Not saying that the company couldn't have advertised the game, but Nintendo could have told them straight up, we don't want our name anywhere on this. Like, we're going to have this on our console, obviously, but in your commercials, say only on Switch. Like, don't say nothing like that. It's just...
Direct, which is
that's what we're talking about. Is like they're owning this. Like Nintendo could have taken any steps they wanted to try and distance themselves from this game, and that obviously did not happen.
When they have a good big fan base for it. I don't know how big of a fan base, but obviously,
I don't know.
It must be.
It obviously is a game for the Japanese market. Like it's just not a game. It's not. Well, I'm just saying it's not a game that I guarantee you more Japanese people will buy this game than American people. Like almost guaranteed. Right? We could safely assume that. I would
assume
venture to say. So it's probably just not a game for. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird and creepy. Stupid. Nintendo, you make the dumbest decisions I ever seen.
Stupid.
We're going to take away the NES Classic that's obviously a moneymaker for us, and here's some boobs. We don't really do this very often, but
the best part is when they're showing like
what?
Physics of the boob is when they're taking like the Joy-Con, the joystick, and like circling it around and around with the thumb. Oh my god.
Like when I picture the guy who makes business decisions for Nintendo, I picture this like drunk Japanese uncle who's like he's just always drunk, and he comes into the office and he tells them what to do, and they have to do it, and they're like, "Fuck, man! Well, he said to do it, man. He was drunk. So what, man?" He's like, like I just see this older Japanese man just drunk all the time, like
one of like this is how crazy this is, right? So one of their like you were saying, Alyssa, like how they transform into like lingerie battle gear or whatever. Like she literally rips off her shirt, and then the ninja scrolls that you see in like Naruto, it pops out between her cleavage, and that's how she transformed. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, I mean, I'm a grown adult, and it's like I can probably look at this game and just laugh. It's not something I would actually buy and play because it just, it's I can't. Like this is just stupid. I don't understand. Don't understand the logic. I mean, I get the logic, but I don't understand why.
There's an anime.
You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why them. Why is it? Oh,
And the anime has been licensed.
Yeah.
And the anime has been licensed by
Of course there is.
in North America. Yay!
Oh Lord. And I subscribe to Funimation too as well. They're probably gonna like recommend it to me or some bullshit. I'm like,
Oh, apparently there's 3 games for the 3DS.
Anyway,
one came out in 2011. The one that came out in America that was localized is called Senran Kagura Burst. And I guess there was another one, but that was released, and now they're making...
Now, in fairness to Nintendo, this is not like this is the first time they've ever let chicks that were barely clothed on any of their games. Like, if you played the Bayonetta games, you know what I'm talking about.
She pretty much used her hair.
Yeah, so, like, it's not the first time, but it is just a little shocking that they're embracing this boob technology the way they are. It's just, yeah, anyway. Just a little odd for Nintendo. So.
Yeah, very odd. But we'll see. We shall see when this thing comes out. Get your Joy-Con and get your jiggle fixes on or something. Yeah, it'll be something.
Sounds weird when you say it, Alyssa.
Sorry. I can make funny jokes too.
It's cool.
Speaking of Kleenexes, Disney put... No, I'm just playing.
No, just kidding.
Stop it.
That's horrible.
Our last discussion is Disney related. Another Cars movie is coming out, and over the years, the topic pretty much is like over the years I've heard really dark fan theories about the Cars like universe, right? Like one in particular about seeing piles of dead skeletons in they're just like imagining piles of dead humans somewhere that the Cars all killed everyone and they took over everything because there's their homes they live in and monuments that are created and stuff like that and this is our future, guys. All cars, all vehicles have gotten sentience and decided to kill us all. But for some reason decided to make some of them stupid and some of them not. It's like and very humanistic characteristics and stuff like that. And this particular one, like they're saying that this particular part 3 is that is they're trying to point out like how we now have the autonomous car technology that's coming out now, right? Teslas and stuff like that, and how Google's testing all these self-driving cars and trucks and stuff like that. And they're like, some people are saying, well, this is our future. Now, mind you, I should say this is just a fan theory stuff about this. This is not exactly what's happening in the movies and stuff like that. If you've ever seen them, I mean, although some of them you can it's kind of weird, right? Like, have you guys seen Cars, part 1 or 2, or just
I
parts
saw
of
the
it
first
or
one.
What
I don't remember anything
about
about it except for Larry the Cable Guy making redneck jokes. Yeah, he was
he played
Mater.
The truck. I think he
and,
played. Yeah,
they were tipping cows, which were they were obviously what are those, forklifts or some shit? Yeah.
Forklifts or something like that. Yeah.
The first one made a little more sense to me. Like, I've seen the first one and I saw part of the second one. I don't even think I sat through all the second one. But the first one made a little more sense because it was like, hey, it's a bunch of cars and it's a movie about the cool athlete guy who has to go to Podunk Town and learn to be humble. Like, that was the overarching theme of the movie, right? So, and then you got Cars 2, which is this same guy who learned the lesson in 1 now has to go to Europe to beat some indie car, and there's a British secret car agency that's also involved somehow.
And
and
it makes James Bond references or something.
This is yeah, of course.
Pretty
what I
much,
mean? Stuff like that. And then, honestly, I've seen no trailers. I know nothing about what this new one. So
there was a now that you just said that about part 2, I've seen the whole part. I'm remembering parts of it now. There was a scene where I believe a car was killed, or grind up. I was like, oh.
Did they do that? I don't even know that scene, but did they do something cheesy where like the oil was spilling out of him or some shit?
Is this, like?
Yeah, I think so.
I just
like
picture that.
To,
it's like,
Brave
what?
Little Toaster. Did you guys see the Brave Little Toaster? Remember the scene with the?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I saw the first one.
Remember the
anyway.
scene?
There was a
Brave
bunch
Little
after
Toaster
that.
in the
I didn't see
landfill
any
where all the
sequels.
cars are like being smashed. It reminds me of that. I think John Lasseter directed that movie, so I wouldn't be surprised if they used like the same. Yeah.
Same sort of tropes and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, like, they kind of did that with Toy Story. When they're like what scene was it? Like they were like, I think they were all about to die. Like they had to like get out of some sort of like air duct or
Buzz
something.
Lightyear was like, I want to say that was part 2, and there was like some toys that were getting destroyed because they were old or something, and like,
right,
yeah, like they were trying to save it. Yes, the one was trying to save the other from being destroyed or something like that. I don't remember, but yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, there's, pretty much, Disney films they've always had dark fan theories and stuff like that. Cars is probably the most interesting ones that I've ever run across. Like even in this article, it mentions like if you notice in some of the like I believe in Cars 1 and 2, the cars have handles. They're like door handles, so that means humans did exist. In that, because it kind of makes no sense to like if it's a society of cars, why do you need door handles? You know what I'm saying? Like who? Like, but who's getting in? Like, what can they possibly use it for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just that was like, huh? It's just kind of fucked up. Yeah, it's kind of true. What the, And even like, I've always found it kind of weird and claustrophobic that the main protagonist of the movie, what was his name? Lightning McQueen or something like that. He travels from circuit to circuit in the back of this like truck, but it's like so narrow. That's why he just goes and chills. You know what I mean? It's like I was like that. I mean, I know he's a car. He probably doesn't feel like he's confined in it. I'm acting like this thing actually fucking exists, but I'm just saying, just me as a human is like,
the truck is even the
really
truck is alive too. It's like, it's his friend that he's inside.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna let you in.
Now think about that. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just about to say. Like, now think about that. That car was inside that truck. What does that tell everybody?
Stab it right now.
Stab it. But no, like I said before the show, man, like people have been doing this for Disney movies since Disney movies were Disney movies. Like people have been doing this since Wizard of Oz. They've been doing this since, like in Wizard of Oz, there's a bunch of them where like there's a dude hanging thimself in the background, or there's some really there's some dark ones with
yeah.
Go. Well, somebody like has a video of it happening, but and then like they'll try to say that the new remastered versions it was cut over and like edited out and blah blah blah, and that the original is the only one that has it, and who fucking knows? But like they've been doing this for Disney movies. All I'm trying to say is they've been doing this for a long time, trying to take something that's innocent and turn it dark. You know what I mean? Like that's why we saw Batman go from this ping pow to I'm Batman. Like it's somebody taking something that was bright and colorful and wanting to do something different and dark with it, and it's like whatever, man. That's pretty much what I chalk it up to.
Yeah, there's always something, because I guess because Disney's such a huge entity and they just, much of our childhood is with them, so it's I can see people as they grow up and stuff like that just see all these weird
what I always liked about Disney besides everybody thinks of them as like, oh, they're just known for like Mickey Mouse and Happy Fairy Tale musical movies, but they're not afraid to take risks. And like one thing I loved about every every Disney movie, the villain always had like gruesome ending. I mean, most of them they're always falling to their death, but you know they're not afraid to.
Oh,
they're not afraid.
yeah. They're not afraid to go there.
Like I remember,
they're not afraid to go
like
there.
there's one
Cars...
Disney movie, The Black Cauldron. It's like nobody knows about it because it wasn't that great of a movie, and it's like super underrated. But I remember like the main villain, I think it's called like the Leech King or the Lich King. He like basically has his skin ripped off in a cauldron or some shit.
Wow.
Jeez. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it came out like in the
is it,
80s. It's a weird movie. It's the one movie like nobody knows about. It was the movie that almost made Disney go bankrupt, I think, in the 80s. Yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay,
that was like the last movie,
YouTube,
I think, before they started like the whole Renaissance. Like, I think Little Mermaid pretty much saved Disney from bankruptcy.
Interesting.
Another
thing we learned today.
Actually, I heard of The Great Mouse Detectives.
Wow.
Supposedly,
Grace Mouse. Oh, I remember that. That was.
I remember those.
Yeah, Little Mermaid kind of
I remember the Great Mouse
like
Detective.
started the whole Renaissance and said, "Oh, let's go back to doing animated musicals."
Which, you know,
I
everybody likes a musical,
love musicals, but you either love them or hate them.
I mean, I like them too. Yeah. But anyway, guys, we are out of time. Don't forget to check out the show on GameRebellion.com. That's where you find most, if not all, of our, very, very previous episodes and stuff like that. Check out their communities, check out their other podcasts, check out their really great written articles and stuff like that. You can also find the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Music Play as well. Or just, whatever your favorite podcatcher is, app, whatever. Just type in the Pondering Nerdcast and you will find us. So that shouldn't be too hard. It's easy, right? Just type it in. Boom. There you go. But we appreciate you guys for listening. And until next time, guys, we love you and appreciate you. I don't know if we love you. But
okay, I love you.
Bye. I love you. Nobody loves me. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Bye for now.
3 seashells.